Welcome to another story time brought to you by ABC Read and ABC Learn, in which we are here to help you develop and nurture that love of reading in every child as well as every adult. How are you all doing out there today, evening, real early in the morning, real late at night, middle of the afternoon, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are around the globe? I hope that you all are doing absolutely lovely. And I hope that you all have read or you're planning to read for at least 30 minutes. All right, you guys. Well, this is something I wanted to address really quickly before I get into reading. And y'all know what I'm about to read from, right? Fish in a Tree, Lynda Mullaly Hunt. But before I get started, I just wanted to have you guys think for a couple of minutes. Now, who is the first person that comes to your mind when you think about someone reading aloud to your children? Or if you're a kid watching, who's the first person that comes to your mind when you think of read alouds? Give you a few seconds. Ding. Did some of you guess or say mom, grandma, maybe an older sister, maybe your teacher? And your teacher, and probably the teacher that you're thinking about, more than likely, is a woman. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because what we want to do is we want to have our children, and again, if your child is watching, we don't want you to just associate reading with moms, grandmas, your older sister or auntie or some woman caregiver or a woman teacher. We want reading to be associated with dads as well, grandpas, grandmas, uncles, older brothers, or those male teachers, male mentors, all right? And I'm addressing this issue because Jim Trelease, he talked about this in the Read Aloud Handbook. And he was just basically saying, he said, fathers should make an extra effort to read to their children. Why is that? Well, because you have a vast majority, which means there are a lot of teachers, and we already know a lot of teachers are women, in particular white women, right, in the classrooms, okay? And so a lot of times we think about, reading, a lot of times, again, like I said, you're thinking about that woman teacher, or you're thinking about that mom, that grandma, or that woman caregiver. And we need to get rid of that. We want to have the men involved as well with the reading process. All right. So, of course, I'm speaking to you dads out there and, you male mentors, grandpas. I want you to next time make an effort to pick up that book and read to your children or grandchildren, nieces and nephews. All right. And even the older brothers as well. As a matter of fact, I even asked my son, who is 14, I asked him last week, I said, I want you to read to your siblings. I was taking care of something. So I said, do me a favor. I said, I want you to read to them. And it was so hilarious. I said, I wish I could have recorded it because he was reading Tiki Tiki Timbo and he was being silly with it, got enthused, got engaged with it. And I said, I said, that's awesome. But our kids need to see that. They need to see the males involved with the reading as well. So that's all. Just wanted to share that with you guys. All right. Now I'm ready to read to you all Fish in a Tree, chapter 47. Great minds don't think alike. And again, for those of you, this is your first time listening to one of the read alouds. I'm reading from the book Fish in a Tree by Lynda Mullaly Hunt. The main character, Allie Nickerson, she has a reading disability, which is called dyslexia. All right, and now we are like close to the end of the book, y'all. So for those of you who need to know, and you should want to know what has happened in the beginning of this book, go back to chapter 1 and get on to listening. Let's rock and roll. Mr. Daniels looks really happy as he makes an announcement to us one morning. Today, my fantasticos, we are going to jump from our social studies unit and talk a little bit about some famous people. People I bet some of you know. He takes out pictures and stands them up on the tray of the board. They almost cover the length of it, and I worry that we will have a test or have to write about our favorite. Mr. Daniels seems electric. I'll say the name, and then you tell me if you know why they're famous. Deal? No need to raise your hands. Just call out. Wow, he's breaking the biggest teacher rule ever. He points to the first picture. Thomas Edison. Wait, I know who that is, I squeak out. He invented the light bulb? Great, Allie. But if you know, don't answer like a question. Declare your answer. I imagine myself at a podium in front of thousands of people, arms in the chair, declaring my answer. What about this one? He asks. Max says, Alexander Graham Bell, who invented the telephone. I did a report on him. Most excellent work, Mr. Daniels says. The next one is George Washington. Everyone knows that one. Henry Ford? He asks. He invented the car, I declare. Well, he did begin Ford Motor Company, but he didn't invent the car. He perfected the moving assembly line, which was a very clever way to build a lot of cars fast. Oh, Allie, how do you know about these inventors? My mom bought a DVD called Schoolhouse Rock. It has a cartoon about inventors. Ah, yes, Schoolhouse Rock is awesome. Next one, Albert Einstein. He says this one like he's introducing someone on a game show. Albert raises his hand. Yes, Albert? Albert Einstein was born in Germany on March 14, 1879. He is considered the greatest human mind to ever have lived in the fields of physics, mathematics, and philosophy. He changed all of science with his ideas. My father says that the field of science was like Pinocchio as the puppet, and Einstein changed it into a real boy. Does he really? Mr. Daniels laughs. That's brilliant. Is your father a scientist, Albert? Yes, sir. He named me after Albert Einstein, so I know a lot about him. Keisha whispers to him, Is that why you style your hair after him? She turns to me. That boy has never even seen a comb. Style my hair? Albert asks, confused. Mr. Daniels walks back toward the pictures. I have a feeling that Albert's father is quite a scientist. Indeed. We go through the rest of the pictures. Leonardo da Vinci, famous painter of the Mona Lisa, also a gifted inventor. Pablo Picasso, another famous painter, who created a modern style that no one had ever seen before. Patricia Polacco, talented illustrator and author. Whoopi Goldberg, hilarious comedian and actress. Henry Winkler, famous actor and author. Muhammad Ali, world heavyweight champion in boxing. John F. Kennedy, 35th President of the United States. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of England during World War II. His intelligence and grit kept the Nazis from taking over England. In fact, all of these people had grit to spare. Grit. I like that word. John Lennon of the Beatles. Walt Disney, creator of Mickey Mouse. Then Mr. Daniels stands back. Don't you all agree that this is a stunning group of talent? Is there anyone here that would be willing to stand up and say that any of these people were stupid? Everyone shakes their heads. Albert gave us a great rundown of Albert Einstein. But did you know that he was kicked out of school when he was young? His report card said that he was too slow to amount to anything. He couldn't memorize the months of the year. In fact, he had trouble tying his shoes. But he was and remains one of the greatest minds we've ever seen. I remember when I had a hard time tying my shoes. Travis sat with me for a long time, teaching me the baby way where you make the rabbit ears. I stared at Einstein's picture with his crazy white hair that looks like he had an accident with a light socket. How could he figure out something like time travel and not know the months of the calendar? Mr. Daniels says, some people say that John Lennon is one of the most gifted spiritual musicians ever. He walks over and points to Walt Disney. What about this guy? Did you know he was told by a teacher that he wasn't creative enough? He moves over. How about Henry Ford? He was born understanding how an engine should work. He just knew without studying it. Hey, that's like Travis. He walks towards the windows, knew exactly how it should go together. He never went to school for it, but he was such a genius with machines, he worked as Thomas Edison's engineer for a while. He built his first car by hand by building a motor and putting it between two bicycles. And with his idea of using a moving assembly line, he ushered in a new world. He walks back toward the board. You know what all of these people have in common? He asks the class. Then he stands in front of my desk and looks me dead in the eye. Many believe that they all had dyslexia. I feel it in my gut. In fact, I feel it everywhere. He smiles a bit. That's right. As children, they struggle to read even simple words, and based on some other clues as well, most experts now believe that they had dyslexia. But of course, we know their struggles weren't because they were stupid. It's just that their minds worked differently. And thank goodness they did, because otherwise we might not have telephones or light bulbs or stunning works of art. He smiles. Oh, and we wouldn't have Mickey Mouse. He is quiet for a while. I think he's letting it sink in. So then, for your homework, I have an extra credit assignment. He turns on the smartboard and there's writing. The class is already complaining that they can't read it, complaining that it makes no sense. It's a code, he says. Each letter stands for another. Extra credit for anyone who can crack it. It isn't exactly like reading with dyslexia, but it will give you a taste of how hard it is, how long it takes. Then he looks at me, and how smart you have to be to persevere. He dismisses us and everyone starts to get ready to go home. But I'm still staring at the pictures of all those famous people and wondering if they felt like me when they were young. Did they feel stupid? Did they wonder what would become of them? Mr. Daniels squats next to me. Allie, although the room is loud, it's like the sounds are far away. Are you okay, Allie? Mr. Daniels asks. I turn to him and have to clear my throat before speaking. It's true? All those people there? I look back at their pictures. All of those people couldn't read like me? Indeed, he says, smiling. Not that they couldn't read, they just needed to learn a different way, that's all. He puts an oval-shaped piece of metal in front of me. This is a paperweight, he says. It's a gift for you. For me? Yes, look. He points at each word as he reads them. Never, never, never quit. Winston Churchill. I pick it up. It's heavy. I'm not giving it to you as a reminder because I know that you will keep at it. I've really gotten a sense lately of how hard you've had to work to learn what you have. And, he says, laughing, you fooled a lot of smart people. So how smart does that make you? I swallow hard. I'm giving it to you because I want you to know that I've noticed and that you're going to be okay, Allie. He leans forward a bit. Better than okay, actually. My head swims with all that's changed in school and in me. Hey, you guys. Whoa, whoa, such a powerful, powerful chapter. And you notice it was a little longer, right? And why do you think that is? My guess is because I liked how the author, how she really, really wanted to delve in with talking about dyslexia. And also just showing how, again, she talked about all of these different people that a lot of us have learned about in schools, who are considered smart, talented, gifted in so many different ways, but these people have dyslexia. And just like she talked about in the chapter, it's not just the fact that they struggle with reading, but it's also the way that they learn. And that's why I really, really love this chapter, because I believe that that is a message that all children need to hear. Everyone is different. Everyone learns different. So please stop comparing yourself to other people. And as I remind you, I remind myself. And I think these are the things that a lot of parents who, when they talk about the educational system, they get tired of, again, this whole standard way, right? That, oh, if you don't meet this standard, then that means something is wrong with you. And it's like, no, everybody has a way that they are smart. Everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses. But when you have a great teacher, just like the one here, Mr. Daniels, who is able to connect with those kids and bring out those strengths, that right there, my friends, those are the kinds of teachers that you want in your life. And I'm just saying. Just saying. All right, you guys. Hope you all enjoyed that read aloud. And I hope you all please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And do not forget to hit that little bell, that notification bell. So every time that I upload a video, you will be the first one to get it. All right. Thank you all of my subscribers as well. I think we got 188 or 189. We are close to 200. 200. All right, y'all. And remember to please keep reading for at least 30 minutes a day. Peace.